Okay, welcome to the arena, ladies and gentlemen. After that wonderful stalling, it's the Commonwealth Connection here, Wingnut and Jin, and we are about to talk through this match. Test Alliance, please ignore, have brought a really cool setup here. Triple Hype and Neuros, Nurgle, Magus, Pontifex, Double Vengeance. What are Odin's cool flying here?
Well, normally the triple hype would be, the hypest thing around with the most DPS, but nope, they're coming up against Twin Leshak. So there's a little bit more hype and a little bit more DPS there, so that's going to make it a little more rough than expected. And of course, they've got an Armageddon backing up those Leshaks, as well as Pontifex, Double Deacon, Double Vexer, which are potentially good Newt boats, and a Skybreaker, because of course you got to have a Skybreaker. I'm just double checking as well. These Vexes are indeed entirely gunless, so that means they're either drone kite machines, Logi ball machines for some reason, or they are exactly what I think, and they are Newt boats. So add those Newts to that Armageddon and the Leshak, and you have a ridiculous amount of Newts against a triple hype blaster comp. That's not good. That's
I
not looking good, G.
really love the potential for these Vexers here to do dangerous stuff to this expensive Test Alliance support. That Nurgle in if he gets tackled down by any of those Vexes, those Newts are going to turn off his ADC, turn off his guns, and probably turn off his life before he even knows it.
And then our Nearest is going to have a hard time too. If these Vexes are not tackled or held down or go into the fight, they can chase that Oneros all day long. You're just going to see the Oneros running for his life with two new Vexes on his tail. So this can go a lot of different ways for sure. It is definitely an uphill climb for Test at the moment because they are outmatched in DPS as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, I think the big question here is though is what ship does Odin's Call feel comfortable sacrificing into the middle of those three Hyperions to stop them getting on top of anything expensive, anything that's going to potentially endanger them as this match goes on? Obviously, they want to pick apart one of those Hyperions, get the Lashak spooling onto him, whilst they keep the others impotent. And that's going to require them to win this tackle war as well. And that's going to be, they have a person advantage here. They have those Vexes. But Test Alliance are playing really defensively here with this opening, pulling back.
Exactly that, pulling back, wait for the right time. They are honestly, need to be the ones that get into the fight at the right time. Because if they do it wrong, they're going to get nuked out real quick, and then these Lashaks are going to start pounding on them. They haven't got enough nuke pressure to really fight back. They've really just got maybe one heavy nuke each, but I'm suspecting at least one will have a smart bomb. So they have to pick the right moment and then just dive in and just send everything. Just send it as hard as I can. Vengeance at the moment being hit. I believe was that drones? No, I don't know what's hitting him. He's just getting scratched by someone. He's all good.
So you're seeing some really interesting positional play here with where because the Hyperions are moving up and you can see that Aneros is already on top of the micro jump unit, the blue team here, Odin's Call, have had to move in a little bit because they have to respect the possibility of the Hyperions jumping on their backline. And that's forced them here towards the center of the arena, and the Vengeances are screaming back in to try and pick stuff off. But you can see there, it looks like Zale is caught. That could be a dangerous position for him.
And look at the second Vengeance of Party Boy going in. Nope, that's not the time, dude. Get out of there. The other Vengeance is dead. You're not going to gain anything by holding him down. Leave. They also sent a bunch of their light drones in as well to try and shoot a Vexer. Those light drones are just getting picked apart by the Skybreaker because, I mean, what were those light drones going to do? Sail goes down as expected. They just fed a ship with no real gain. I see a Vexer at the moment. Yep, tackling the Hyperion. The Vexer of Hoarder has gone in for it. Hodor, not Hoarder. My bad. So here we go. Here's the big moment. They have to go in there. They can't get that Hyperion out. Now it's the time you go all in. And I think I see the hypes turning about. Yep, here they come. The brawl starts now. And I don't think it's the best position for a test at the moment. Oh, sorry. And Nearest MGT?
Okay. Yep, he's spooshed all the way through across the arena, but he's right next to something there. I think he is. No. He's managed to get away. But the Armageddon has newts onto him now. And it looks like the Vexer of Yokan, he's screaming towards him in the backline there, and it looks like he's going to make the intercept. I can't tell. I don't think his MWD's been turned off.
Magus Draconis looks like he was trying to go in there to try and support him, but nobody's backed off as well. Maybe they think the Aneros can outrun the Vexer? Because if he does,
you can see the web, but it looks like he might be able to get away from it. It looks like Dante is going to be able to make it back to the Hyperions. He's going to be home free here, and the Vexer is going down.
That's good. That's a good start. They got rid of one of the Vexes. At the moment, what are the Lashaks even doing? I expect them to be in the fight already. They're a little bit further away and currently shooting the Oneros instead. Actually, they're going for the Logi trade first. Good call, I think. If you get rid of the Oneros, they can definitely beat these hypes in a straight up brawl.
Yeah, you can see there Yokan is still able to hold on top of him, applying all those newts to that Aneros and really stressing his tank. It's not going to be long. Those Hyperions are pushing up. They're getting closer and closer and closer. And as you do, you can see that attack bar growing and growing. This is a really dangerous spot now for Tesla and Please Ignore. They need to make a kill happen here somehow.
I like the call for them to go in and try and get rid of the Vexor to save their Aneros, but I would be honest, if I was in that situation, I actually would have gone for Leshak. Leshak's are distracted. Their DPS is not on you. It is time to rip a Leshak apart before he can even stop you. But they're going for the Vexor. That's probably the smarter, more safer call there. If they can kill him and get their Aneros out of there, they can maybe hold on. Oh no, he's gone. Not good.
No, this is going to be a really difficult match from here on out. You can see ships are going to start falling here very quickly as all that Leshak DPS just gets applied to it. The Hyperion local tank is going to be is still incredibly resilient, and there's a little bit of DPS going there on Dinar, but I think that's a mistake if that's Leshak spooling up on them. You want to just ignore them and pick apart all the support, leave them completely helpless, and then just kill them normally.
I don't know. I think at this point they're in a brawl. You got to go for Hyperion before he starts going for you because they are going too soon. They're still actually on the Vexor of all things. I think that Vexor is managing to survive under 3 Hyperions, which is just insane. He should be dead. That's a T1 cruiser. He's starting to go low. Come on, Hyperions can kill that. What are you guys doing?
He's just proving that you don't need an expensive ship to win in the AT there, as it looks like he might die before the hype. Sorry, he might die at the same time as Danar and the Hyperion sitting there in structure now. I didn't even see a single rep fire. It's almost like he's given up.
Oria's got super newt. Don't forget, those Leshaks likely have newts as well, and the Armageddon is still on the field, providing extra suck power. So they could time those newts really well to just ruin the Hyperion's day. And one Hyperion's down. They're now on the Leshak, I believe. So now it's a race, and I think at this point the Leshaks are ahead in this race.
Yeah, this is just really beautiful piloting. The only ship sacrifice there were the Vexors. Those are effectively just big tackle. Party Boy there in the Vengeance, another victim of the big suck, getting picked out in the back line by that Armageddon, and then just slowly glommed onto by the rest of this Test Alliance support. Sorry, by the rest of the Odin School support.
And we see the Hyperion of Gene Starwin's currently moving in to smart bomb off rep drones, but I don't actually see the rep drones on that Leshak, so I feel like he's kind of wasting their smart bombs for now. As Aaron is about to go down. He's now in Hull. He's being neutered out. He's got some logic drones on him, but it's not going to be enough. And down he goes. Not looking good.
This is just a really good play from Odin School, and it just shows you how critical logistics piloting is to the success of a team. As you were talking about, if that Aneros had been able to slip away, and there was a moment where I thought he might be able to break it, because Yokan didn't take the best vector to intercept his line. He looks like he just clicked approach. He just wasn't able to make it. He wasn't able to heat enough, wasn't able to get away. And because of that, his whole team's game plan just cascaded around him.
Exactly, yeah. Like, obviously, I had the thought of maybe going for the Leshaks instead, because once the Aneros was caught, they committed everything to try and save him. But at that point, there was 2 Leshaks next to him. There was an Armageddon looting him. There was obviously the Vexor still holding him. Honestly, even if they killed the Vexor, he was still stuck there. He was never leaving. So I think these teams kind of realized that a little bit too late, and now they've kind of suffered for it as their last Hyperion is going down. That's the last of their DPS.
Yep, and that pretty much marks the end of the match, though. It's not, we're going to talk a little bit, I guess, later on about how this match could have gone. But what I want to say is talk about that Nurgle a little bit. We've seen a couple of teams bring them. What do you think they really add to a team composition? What's the game plan for trying to use those things?
I'm going to throw shade and say there's nothing as far as I'm concerned. They have some uses, but other ships do them better, probably for cheaper. I wouldn't bring a Nurgle. I see no redeeming qualities. Like, I see no redeeming qualities in Triglavian Logi. They are heresy and should never be brought.
Yeah, and it looks like that statistic, it's 18-1 in however many matches that Black Bart Pirate had talked about before, and now it's going to be it's going to be 19-1. Test Alliance able to bring one undermanned victory earlier in the day, but not able to give us our second. So with that, Odin's Call will be moving on to the finals. It's going to be really interesting to see if they bring something like this again.
Yeah, Test gave him a good run for a while, but it kind of fell apart. And as you said, Odin's going to the finals now. That's gonna be real interesting. I want to see what they bring up next because this Newt heavy comp was honestly gonna be brutal to fight if they bring it again.
Yeah, one of the things though is that if you lose any of the main DPS parts of this composition, it is so fragile with only two Leshaks, and then you've got practically nothing. You've got the Armageddon drones and the Pontifex rockets and drones, and that's maybe 1,000 DPS between it.
Very much so. It is very risky. The one backup, of course, is you don't really need as much DPS if you have enough nuding power, which they do. But even then, like that is a lot of nuding power, but that's still the core of the whole comp is the Leshaks and then followed up by the Geddon. Like honestly, the Geddon is like their long range tackle in a way because of his long range nukes. Vengeance just goes pop. There we go.
Yeah, and that is the game officially over with only 2 losses there for Odin's Cool as they take this match. Let's head back to the studio and break it down.